Morning students, this is Satyen Verma. Today's lesson is about the first chapter of Hornbill, class 11th. The chapter name is The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. About the author. Khushwant Singh was an Indian author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist and a politician. He was born on 2nd February 1915 in Hardali, which is now in Pakistan, and died on 20th March 2014 at the age of 99. Sujan Singh Park, New Delhi. He was awarded with Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, Punjab Ratna Award also. Summary of the chapter. The first one is about the granny, the grandmother of the Khushwant Singh. In this story, the author draws a pen portrait of his grandmother. He beautifully unfolds his relationship with her while describing her appearance and daily activities. In his own word, I am going to explain the lesson. He says, "My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her." It means in last 20 years he had never seen her different. He saw that on her face there was a wrinkle. People said that, the author says that, people said that she had once been young and pretty and had even a husband, but that was hard to believe because author has never seen her changing in her appearance. For 20 years he has seen her only old and wrinkled one. Here the author further says that author says that my grandfather's portrait hung on the wall in the drawing room, and he wore a big turban and had white beard covered the best part of his chest, and looked at least 100 years old. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. He had never been young because he was looking so old that he might have many grandchildren. Author further added here about his grandmother that she was fat and slightly bent. She was terribly old, that she could not have grown older. She hobbled about the house in spotless white. Here hobbled means move in the house, and spotless white, it means pure white sari she used to wear, with one hand resting on her waist like this to balance her stoop means bent body, and other telling the beads of rosary. Beads of rosary, it means that a small moti of rosary, that mala she used to chant different mantras. Her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayers. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains. Yes, she was beautiful. The author says that she was really beautiful. She was a peaceful lady. She was just here the author has compared his granny with the winter landscape in the mountain. It means endless area which looks peaceful, white. In the same way, she was very calm and peaceful lady. Yes, next one is life in village. Author expresses about his life in village. Author says that I and my grandmother were good friends. She used to wake me up and get me ready for school. she used to prepare breakfast for him. She said her morning prayers in monotonous sing song for me. She used to think that by listening my prayers my child will learn, but honestly speaking, I did not listen her prayers, I listened her voice because I loved her voice. After breakfast of a thick chapati, stale means the not fresh one, the old one, stale chapati, applied butter on this. After taking the breakfast, we both went to school. She used to carry stale chapatis with her for village dogs. The school was attached with the temple. So, I used to go in school along with the children. I used to learn alphabet, sing alphabet and prayer in chorus, while my grandmother used to sit inside the temple reading the scripture unless school gets over. While walking back, she used to feed dogs. They used to start following from the temple gate, and they used to follow fighting to each other for the chapatis till our doors. Next one is, see that next part of this summary of this chapter is a turning point of their friendship. There was a turn came in their friendship, and what was the turn? Let us see that one. Author's parents who were in city, they left author in village with grandmother. Now they have got settled there and they call them in the city. It was the turning point in their relationship. Although author and grandmother shared the same room, but grandmother could not go to the school, because here author says that I used to go to an English medium school, English school, where bus used to come to the door and he used to go there. So, now granny role was over to go to the school. There were no dogs in the street, so that she could feed. She started feeding sparrows in the courtyard to pass her time. Years passed. We saw less of each other, author says. Sometimes she used to ask about the teaching in school, and author used to tell. Author says here that I would tell her about English words, Western science, music, dance, different classes, about principles of different rules, regulations, all that things he used to tell. And when grandmother came to know that there is no teaching of God or the sculpture, then she became very sad and disappointed also. Since then, she came to know that music was taught in school. Since then, she never talked to, or she did not talk to him, means narrator here. She rarely talked to me after that. It is not Esther, it is after. Here a printing mistake there, this is after that. Actually, she thought that music is low profession job, or it is a job of low profile caste or community. That is why she did not like that her child should be taught music and dance. Up to here I hope you might have understood. Now, that when author had long distance with the granny, means they could not talk much. That time granny was free, alone. She accepted her loneliness, and then what she did, you just see that one in these lines. When I went to the university, I was given a room of my own. Author says like that. The common link of friendship was snapped. It was broken. Grandmother accepted her seclusion. She accepted her loneliness, that now nothing could be done. She was alone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheels, where she was spinning all the time while reciting prayers. In the afternoon, she relaxed while feeding hundreds of sparrows. Some came and perched on her leg, other on shoulders, and some even on her head. She smiled, but never shooed them away. Shoot them means make them away. It used to be the happiest half an hour of the day for her. She used to feed them with a great love and care, and same the birds also used to love. They used to gather and enjoy with her all the time. Now, see that in the next one, author goes to abroad for higher education. This is the heading of this next part of your, I am telling the phase of chapter, that how it goes story wise story, how it is converted in a different part. Author decided to go to abroad for further studies, and he was sure that she would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, he thought, but it did not happen like that. She was not even sentimental. She came to see him off, but she did not talk or show any kind of emotion. She was busy in chanting her prayers and reciting her prayers with a rosary. She came forward silently. She kissed author's forehead, and she did not talk anything. Even author could see what the author could hear her prayer, and he thought that this is my last physical touch with my granny, because he was going for around 5 years abroad and he was not sure that his granny would be alive till that time. Author came back after 5 years, but granny was the same. Author says in his own word that after 5 years I came back home and was met by her at the station. She did not look a day older. She still had not time for words. When she hugged me, I could hear her prayers. Miss Granny was still doing the same way. Her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer, and with frivolous rebukes. Frivolous means in a love and care, you make someone away, that go away from there, move here. So that is the frivolous rebuke. Rebuke means scolding. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray that evening. She collected women of neighborhood, got an old drum and started beating the drum and singing. For several hours thumped the drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. She was persuaded. All the family members thought that something is going wrong. So, they all convinced that please stop, otherwise it could be troublesome. That was the first time she did not pray. The author remembers that it was first time he saw that she did not pray. Grandmother last, this is the last paragraph I hope. The next morning she was taken ill because of overstraining. It was mild fever, the doctor said. Grandmother thought differently. Doctor said that small fever is there, it will be very soon recovered and she will be all right. But grandmother was thinking something different. What she was thinking? She told author and his family that it is the end of her and she is not going to live long. She said them not to talk, leave her alone, because she wanted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to author's family. Author's family protested, but she ignored, she did not listen. She lay peacefully in her bed, praying. That is bed, not bed, it is bed, B-E-D, bed. This one is not bed, this is bed, where it is, yeah, this is B-E-D, bed, praying in her bed, telling her bits. Her lips, after some time her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers before they could understand that she left this world. Last paragraph, it is silent tribute by sparrows. See that she was laid on the ground and covered with a red shroud. After a few hours of mourning, all the family members, they started arranging the things for the final ritual or the funeral. In the evening, the sun was setting, means it was almost evening time by arranging all the things. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light because of evening time. All over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff, wrapped in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor silently. There was no chirrup, there was no chirping. Mother fetched some, Arthur's grandmother, Arthur's mother fetch means bring. Here, fetched some bread for them, broke it into small crumbs like grandmother used to do, and threw it to them, but the sparrows did not take notice. The sparrows took no notice of that bread, because they were there for mourning, not for eating. When the corpse was carried off, taken away from there, the birds quietly flew away from there. Next morning, the sweeper swept the bread crumbs into the swept and threw into the dustbin. In this way the chapter ends. I hope you might have understood this chapter. I have tried to take each point from each paragraph thoroughly. If one can read this one, so 90% of your text part is also covered. If you have not understood, please go through this video twice or thrice. Even then, if you have doubt, you can ask. Once again, I will teach you line by line, means reading part will be there, but it will not be so deep, because almost all the points I have covered here. Thank you. Have a nice day. In next part, we will go with the reading and the question answer. Thank you to you all.